This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Back to school season can be tough on parents, but choosing a snack you and your kids can both get behind doesn't have to be. Stock up on Welch's Fruit Snacks, made with whole fruit and now made with no artificial dyes. It's a snack kids already love and one you can feel good about giving them. Go back to school with Welch's Fruit Snacks, now made with no artificial dyes.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Get 2 times membership rewards points per dollar on eligible purchases in key business categories, as well as on each eligible purchase of $5,000 or more, on up to $2 million in eligible purchases per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life, and today we have another midweek mini pod or podlet. And I thought, because I'm actually pre-recording these ones, because when this goes live I will be in Aachen, Germany for the FEI World Championship, so go and check my socials if you want to see what I'm up to in Germany. But anyway, I actually did a Q&A on my channel and I do have a few questions left over because you guys sent me literally thousands of questions, so unfortunately I couldn't answer them all, but I'm going to answer some more on the podcast. Now, I thought in today's episode we would do a little bit of I feel like all the questions that kind of go in this podlet are all personality questions about the horses, so I think, anyway, we'll get into that, but first, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian country store based in the UK, and they also ship all over the world, and guys, I hate to say it, might not seem like it now, but it might be time to start thinking about autumn, winter. Do you need a new rug for your horse? Do you need a new winter coat? Do you need some new Wellington boots because your pair at home have got a massive hole in? Do you know where you can get them? Red Post Equestrian. So go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk, or for my American friends, redpostequestrian.com. Anyway, let's get into today's midweek mini pod or podlet. So let me grab the questions up because I did say I was going to give you guys shout outs for asking the best questions. So this first one is a little bit of an easier one. We'll do the more psychoanalytic one next. But this one is from the Horse Illustrator, and they say, if you were a flavour ice cream, which one would you and each of your horses be based on their personalities? And then a red love heart. So, I thought actually this was a really good question. Now, I've been asked what my favourite flavour of ice cream is, but I've never been asked what my horses would be. So let's start off with myself. I would say, I'm going to say my favourite ice cream. So I'm going to say a raspberry ripple. You know, a little bit unusual. Not very common, you know, I would say I'm definitely not very normal. Also, it's kind of like a pinky colour as well, and I love pastel colours. And it's kind of 2 flavours as well, so obviously it's got the raspberry in it, but it's not too overpowering, because normally is a raspberry ripple normally like raspberry with like clotted cream? I think so, it's something like that. But yeah, a raspberry ripple is my favourite, because I feel like strawberry is like the basic, but raspberry ripple is just a little bit different. I don't know. That's my favourite flavoured ice cream. I have definitely been asked that question before, and I definitely might have said a different answer, but right now, that's what it is. Tell you what, I also really like ice cream wise, like frozen yogurt ice cream. We have some at home, and I'm pretty sure that's maybe a raspberry one or a cherry one. I also really like a cherry sorbet as well. Anyway, moving on to the other horses. I could talk about food all day, to be honest. Joey, I am going to say Joey is very much a chocolate ice cream, maybe with a few little chocolate chips in there as well. I feel like it's like a very not basic, but everyone loves Joey. Joey is everyone's favourite. Not everyone's favourite, you guys are different, but you know, who doesn't love Joey? I would say, you know, good old chocolate chip. Also, he likes to get really dirty, so that's the little chocolate chips. Anyway, next up we're gonna do Duke. And I feel like Duke is going to be something a little bit obscure. I think maybe a little bit different. I'm going to say maybe like a banoffee flavoured ice cream. I know, a little bit different. I feel like Banana is very much Duke's personality. He's cheeky, he's small, maybe like a little miniature ice cream. But I thought you don't really get very much, like, you don't really get banana flavoured ice cream. I feel like banana flavoured ice cream on its own, actually, to be fair, I do like a banana milkshake, but you don't really see them very often, so I was thinking maybe like a banoffee flavoured one. I've been to a lot of like ice cream parlours over the summer, and I had like lots of really weird flavoured ice creams. Do you know what I had that actually was really good? It was in London, and I had an Earl Grey flavoured ice cream, which, don't get me wrong, I do like an Earl Grey tea, but it basically tasted like that, but obviously really creamy. And tell you what, I thought it was going to be disgusting, and I was like, you know what, I'm so curious, I'm going to have to go for it, and it actually was really good. Okay, next up, we're going to do Mimi. I think Mimi is going to be something fruity and something tropical, so I'm going to say a mango sorbet. I think Mimi would be, you know, it's got a bit of a punch in there, you know, a lot of flavours. I'm going to say that. And then last but not least, we have Casper. Now, I think Casper is going to be mint chocolate chip. I think, because he's quite a cool kind of guy, so the mint's kind of cool, but also I feel like mint choc chip is a very like Marmite flavour, in the sense where people either love it or they hate it, and I feel like, I don't want to say people hate Casper, but I definitely had some Pony Club instructors that were not impressed by him, so I'm going to say Casper is mint choc chip, because the people that love Casper, they absolutely love him, and I feel like the mint chocolate chip community very passionate about their ice cream flavour, so I'm going to say that. And I'll tell you what, actually, mint chocolate chip used to be my favourite flavour. Now, I don't want to say, that's why I didn't say any of them were going to be raspberry ripple, because that's my favourite, so that's obviously just me, because I don't want to have favouritism, unlike Davide, who you would have heard in last week's episode. Mimi's his favourite. I just can't believe you can't have favourites. Do you know what he also said the other day that I thought was so awful? He says that he loves Fossi more at the age of 1 than he did when I was 1. Like, he's like coughing now in the back. He's like, no, I did not say that. But yeah, he did say that, and he does own it up. He loves Fossi more than me when I was a baby. That's how much he loves Fossi. Do you love Fossi more than me now? There's a pause. I'm gonna pretend to not be offended.
He's easier.
What do you mean he's easier? He doesn't pay your wages.
He doesn't do that.
See, I treat you so well. You have the best boss ever. Anyway, on to the next personality test question. And that is from... Let me make sure I say this correctly, because I'm really bad at pronouncing people's name. Miriam Bow. And they say, if your horses were humans, what job would they have? Which I think is such a fun question. Now, I'm going to do Joey first, because I feel like he's going to be the easiest. Now, Joey, I've got like a whole career storyline for Joey. So Dad's like already chuckling. I think Joey would be like a bit of a finance bro in London. Like, to have some sort of like big city well-paying job, but he would only do that for like a decade or two. He wouldn't do it for his whole life, and then maybe when he hits his 30s, I think he would have some sort of, maybe a little bit older, I think he would have a massive midlife crisis, pack up his whole job, move to the countryside, and like start some sort of like small business that he would just kind of like do for fun. So maybe he would like open like a beaver sanctuary, or like have some sort of like goat milk parlour, or like, you know, something super random, and then would also probably be like a wannabe comedian, so would go and do like gigs and pubs and things doing comedy. Which I feel like is super random, but I think that's what Joey would be, because he has had like a major career change going from show jumping to dressage, so I feel like that would be his career change. He would be like city boy, like proper corporate job, very, very serious, doing his little comedy in the evenings. He would be that person at work that would like try and make everyone laugh, and like probably looks like they're not really doing that much work, but somehow the company still likes him and gives him like a promotion. Do you know what I mean? And then like he would be the personality hire, and then he would do something really obscure. Maybe he'd like open up like a little campsite, maybe like a little woodland forestry retreat or something. You'd have like a total career change. So I think that would be Joey. I think I'll do Mimi next. Mimi, I think, would be a marketing girly. I think she would be all over socials. I think she would have a really big, bubbly personality, would get along really well with clients, And then in her like spare time, she would be kind of like a professional amateur at some sort of sport. Like she would not be like a professional tennis player, but she would like, you know, be really competitive, and like at the weekends, like she's always competing, doing some sort of sport. Maybe she's a high rocks girlie and goes and does high rocks, you know, that kind of thing. I think she would be like, or maybe she would do like athletics or running, maybe run some marathons. I don't know. I just feel like she would have her job where she's like super creative, and then like outside of that, outside of work, she would be really, really sporty, doing sporty activities. So that would be Mimi. Dad's nodding. Are you agreeing with me on that one? Yeah, that was quite good. Okay, Casper, totally different to the other two. I think Casper would be a police officer because Dad's laughing. So Casper likes the rules. He likes his routine. If anybody goes in his stable or gets near his stable, he will tell them off. That or a lawyer. I think he could also be a lawyer. Like, very much follows the rules, very much puts people in their place. He also, the other thing that I would say a police officer is because he is like the guard horse out of all the horses. Like, we've had neighbours' sheep escape into our fields and he's chased them away. If there's a deer that comes into his field, he chases it away. Like, he is on watch. You also have to be like quite fit as well, and Casper, like, he can sprint. He can go very, very fast if he wants to. So, you know, to be a police officer, you have to be on it, or maybe like in the military. I don't know. I think maybe more of a police officer, because he could definitely be like good cop or bad cop, because he can, if it's somebody he doesn't like or somebody he doesn't know, you know, he can be a little bit not standoffish, but you know, he's not going to soften to you. He could be like, okay, we need to get the information out of this criminal, that kind of thing. But also, I reckon he could be good cop. Like, if he was, you know, walking around your local town centre and there was a kid doing something they shouldn't, he would, you know, let them know, but say it in like a nice way. So, and I reckon he could be quite sweet, you know, helping out like a little old lady who's maybe had her handbag stolen, that kind of vibes. So I think Casper, yeah, would be a police officer. And then last but not least, we have Duke. Now, Duke is a baby, so he would just be in school. But no, so he's actually grown up a bit now. I was having this conversation with my mum, and my mum was like, well, Duke, he's small, but he's also quite hench. Like, he's small but stocky. So we were saying, like, maybe something like a bricklayer or that kind of thing. I feel like Duke would be quite handy, but also would definitely, like, take the mick a little bit. Like, I can imagine him being like lad on a building site, having some laughs, those kind of vibes. Go down to the pub maybe afterwards. I don't know, but he would be a little bit on the shorter size, but he would be absolutely jacked. Do you know what I mean? Like, he would have muscle. He would probably, you know, go to the gym in the evenings, that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you think different. Davide, what would you say if you have any ideas of what they would be?
This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Back to school season can be tough on parents, but choosing a snack you and your kids can both get behind doesn't have to be. Stock up on Welch's Fruit Snacks, made with whole fruit, and now made with no artificial dyes. It's a snack kids already love, and one you can feel good about giving them. Go back to school with Welch's Fruit Snacks, now made with no artificial dyes.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
My ideas were Joey was a finance bro.
Yeah,
sure.
Yep.
Mimi was an athlete.
Yeah.
So very close.
Yep.
I was going to say Casper was a poet.
Casper is a poet.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not sure how many people can hear this.
Oh, yeah.
So you might need to explain. But Duke, I had him down as a bouncer in a night.
Oh my god. Okay, so I've just asked David. I don't know how much you'll be able to hear, so I'm going to say it again. So he said that he agreed with me for Joey being finance bro. He said that Mimi would be some sort of athlete, which I kind of said, but maybe she just wasn't quite good enough to, you know, make it professionally. So that's her kind of like, you know, she does marketing as her, like, you know, earn the money. And then he said that for Casper would be a poet, which like shocks me a little bit, but also I can. He's very. Yeah, he's very, like, he's in his own world. Yeah, I know, I agree with that. So Casper, he is very on his own world. I think if maybe he could be, like, a songwriter and do very, like, My Chemical Romance type songs, like, very kind of emo kind of, I reckon. Yeah, indie pop, that kind of vibe. And then Duke, Dad said that he thought Duke would be a bouncer. So, you know, Duke could be as short as he is wide, you know, one of those. To be fair, I wouldn't want to mess with Duke. Duke is fearless.
When you go to a nightclub,
yeah,
if there's a little guy,
yeah, you know not to mess with them. Yeah. Dad just said if you go to a nightclub and there's a little bouncer, you know not to mess with them. And I feel like that's what Duke could. He could be a do you know what he could be? He could be a what are they called? Personal bodyguard for somebody. Yeah, because you wouldn't expect... He could be an undercover bodyguard. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't expect them to be, you know, a bodyguard. And then, boom, he's got his ninja moves. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. Anyway, so let me know in the comments what you think my horses would be if they had a job. Or if there's a horse that you ride or look after, or your own horse, or your favourite pony at the riding school, let me know their name, their personality, and what you think they would do as a job. Because I'd find that really interesting. And maybe when I'm back from Arkham, I'll read through it and we'll do a few for comment of the week, because I think that would be a really good one. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to today's midweek mini-pod. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. I just want to say a huge thank you to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast. Go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!